on a humid Louisiana morning, just after 9. The glass doors of Crescent River Bank slid open and a man in faded denim overalls stepped inside, tracking flecks of dried mud across the polished floor. Customers barely glanced up at first, but the teller, Emily Carter, noticed immediately. She was new, 3 months on the job and still learning how not to react outwardly to the unexpected, but the sight of the rugged-looking man in work clothes walking confidently toward her counter tugged a smile from her. In a place filled with suits, briefcases, and pressed collars, he stood out like a farmer who had wandered in straight from the fields. "Good morning, sir," she said, adjusting her badge. "How can I help you today?" The man nodded politely and replied, "Mornin', ma'am. Need to check on a wire transfer and maybe make a withdrawal." His voice was warm, steady, and oddly self-assured for someone who looked like he had spent the morning wrangling livestock. He handed her his ID, and Emily glanced down casually only to freeze. Her breath caught, and a tiny, involuntary laugh escaped her before she could stop it. The ID read, "John Neely Kennedy, Senator." Not a farmer, not an average walk-in customer. A flush of embarrassment swept over her. "Senator Kennedy, Sarah, I'm so sorry, I didn't realize." He raised a gentle hand. "No need to apologize. Folks judge by what they see. That's just human nature." Emily nodded, mortified, fingers trembling as she typed his information into the bank system. She stole another glance at him. There he stood in no polished suit, no security detail, no air of importance, just denim overalls, a dusty hat, and a quiet ease that made him feel almost familiar. Her curiosity got the better of her. "If you don't mind my asking, a broken bar, why come in dressed like this? People know you." "I wouldn't expect a well of this." She motioned awkwardly toward his clothes. Kennedy chuckled softly. "Because before anything else, I'm a man who likes working my land. I was tending the farm this morning, figured I'd swing by here before going into the office." Emily blinked, surprised. "You still farm?" "Every chance I get," he said. "Keeps me grounded." She handed him the paperwork, her embarrassment slowly shifting into admiration. She had judged him at a glance, and the truth had humbled her in seconds. He glanced around the bank, the elderly man clutching a trembling check, a mother with tired eyes trying to fill out forms, a young couple nervously discussing mortgage options. "Busy morning," he murmured. "Always is," Emily replied. What happened next startled her more than his identity. Instead of leaving, Kennedy walked first to the elderly man. "Sir, you doing all right?" he asked gently. The man looked up, startled. "Well, I'll be broken bar, Senator Kennedy." They spoke quietly for a minute, and by the time they finished, the tremble in the man's hands had eased. Then Kennedy moved on to the father struggling with a toddler. The little boy reached for his hat, and the senator playfully let the child tug at it before placing it back on his own head with comic seriousness, earning a delighted giggle. The father's weary expression softened. Emily watched, stunned. Kennedy didn't behave like a politician seeking attention. He acted like a neighbor, a man raised to treat people with dignity regardless of where he stood. When he returned to her counter to thank her and head out, she found herself saying, "Sarah, broken bar, thank you for talking to everyone the way you did." He tipped his hat slightly. "Kindness doesn't cost anything, and folks need it more than ever." The bank door chimed as he left, and Emily stood still, absorbing the unexpected lesson that had unfolded in a matter of minutes. The lobby returned to its normal rhythm, yet something in her perspective had shifted irrevocably. Later during her break, she opened her small notebook and wrote a simple line, "Never judge someone by the dirt on their boots or the clothes on their back. Everyone has a story." It was a reminder she knew she would return to, one born not of training or policy, but of a moment of humanity from a man who had every reason to act above others and never did. The story spread through the bank staff and eventually through town. Not a story about politics, but one about character. A quiet lesson wrapped in denim and humility. And in the end, the senator in overalls didn't just withdraw money that morning. He deposited something far more valuable, a reminder that respect, humility, and kindness are never out of place, no matter who you are or what you wear.